Assalamu alaikum 10th class. Hope you're doing good and enjoying your summer vacations and summer camp as well. As you're all aware of this, that we are going online for our English classes. So hope you will get your lesson and it will help you clear all your concepts. Rather, if you have any queries related to the lecture, you can ask in comments as well. So as you all know that we have only 4 lectures previously, and in which we have covered our translation passages comprises 3 passages of the first chapter, that is Hazrat Muhammad's social reform related to women, orphan and slaves, the reformations that is related to the rights of women, orphans and slaves. So we have now glossary, that is on page number 6, and critical thinking questions. Then we have next figurative speeches that will be helpful for your poems as well. And these words are very important from your MCQ's point of view, as you're going to be asked synonyms, you're going to ask the correct spelling of the word, you're going to ask for antonyms of the words. So if you are going to have the correct idea of the meaning of the word, it will be very easy for you to solve these particular activities or the exercise related to the questions. At the end of the glossary or vocabulary, we are going to provide you the quiz related to that, so that you can assess how much have you got from the lesson. So we are going to start with our first word, that is accountable. The word is accountable. Altogether we have 15 words here, as you can see them. And the first word is accountable. Accountable means responsible for your actions and expected to explain them when you are asked. उर्दू में इसका मतलब है जवाबदेह या जिम्मेदार होना. And the synonyms are responsible, answerable, liable, obligated, trustworthy. Next we have the word among, included in a group of people or things, के दरमियान या के बीच में, amidst, amid, between, surrounded by, included in. If you want to write down the answers, you can write down them as I'm going to explain you. Elevated, raised to a higher level or position, important or noble in status. Elevated is buland, uncha, muazzaz. It is also used for person and also for things. Raised, lifted, heightened, noble, exalted. Next we have the word emancipation, the act of being freed from restriction, especially from slavery. Rihai, azadi, freedom, liberation, release, independence, deliverance. Next we have word emphasized, that is given special importance or attention, highlighted, जोर दिया गया, नुमाया किया गया. Highlighted, stressed, underlined, pointed out, accentuated. Next we have word financial, related to money, income or the management of funds. Mali, दौलत से मुतल्लिक, माशी, that is economic, monetary, fiscal, commercial, budgetary. Next we have word inherit, to receive something like property, money, etc. from someone after his or her death. As you all know that we have discussed this word in lesson. All together we have discussed every word in the lesson. and very deeply we have discussed it. Inherit means तरका, विरासत, जो आपको मिलता है आपके पेरेंट्स की तरफ से या आपके किसी बिलव्ड की तरफ से. You are going to get some sort of materials, wealth, property, whatever. And sometimes characteristics and properties, traits, they are also, they can be inherited as well. So inheritance means विरासत में पाना, receive, acquire, obtain, succeed to, gain. Next is inseparable, unable to be separated, always together or closely connected. नाकाबिले जुदाई, अलग ना होने वाला, लाज़िम व मलज़ूम, ज़रूरी, इंतहाई अहम, united, attached, connected, indivisible, bonded. Mutual, for felt or experienced by both sides. You are very much aware of this word mutual, mutually, it's our mutual profit, it's our mutual property, it's our mutual decision. So these bahmi, mushtarka, shared, reciprocal, common, joint, collective, oppressed, मज़लूम, सताया हुआ, marginalized, treated cruelly or unfairly, especially by those in power, persecuted, mistreated, exploited, abused, burdened. Next we have patriarchal, मर्दाना गलबे वाला निज़ाम, मर्दाना बर्तरी वाला निज़ाम. और माशरा, a social system where men hold primary power and dominate. Male dominated, paternal, traditional, male led. Next we have word prominent, that is numaya, mashhoor, mumtaz, important, well known or easily noticeable, notable, famous, distinguished. Reforms. Next we have word reforms, changes made to improve a system, law or organization. Islahat, you have read this word thoroughly in your lesson. Basically the lesson is about the reforms. Islahat, बेहतरी के इक़दामात, improvements, changes, amendments, corrections, innovations. Next we have relevant, मुतल्लिका, मौजू, related, connected, appropriate, applicable, pertinent, closely connected or appropriate to what is being discussed, contemporary. Next we have word widespread, found or occurring over a large area or among many people, वसी पैमाने पर फैला हुआ. Common, extensive, prevalent, universal, broad. So these are your vocabulary words. With this I have prepared a quiz so that you can evaluate yourself. With the quiz we are going to have critical thinking questions as well. These are your critical thinking questions on page number 6 as well of chapter 1. The first question is, what was the social condition of man, woman, orphan and slaves in pre-Islamic Arabia? You have read this thoroughly in your lesson. Think about it. The rights they were deprived of, treatment they were undergone, the social status they were having, like they were deprived of their social rights, they were deprived of education, they were deprived of inheritance, they were deprived of the choice of their marriage, especially women, and status. The slaves, they were considered subhuman, they were not considered as equal as humans. So the orphans, they were used like someone who are easily exploited, someone who were easily abused, who were easily oppressed, who were easily exploited, their rights were grabbed, they were not given their inheritance properly. So these are the things, like in pre-Islamic Arabia, women, orphan and slaves were subjected to severe injustice and social discrimination. Women were deprived of basic rights and were often treated as inferior. Orphans were neglected and frequently exploited, while slaves were denied freedom and treated in an inhumane manner. So the next question is, what were the three specific rights that Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam introduced for women? Legal rights, financial rights, social rights. And also there was another right, the right to divorce, right to marry, choose their husband. Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam introduced several significant rights for women, including the right to inheritance, allowing them a lawful share in family property, the right to education, encouraging them to seek knowledge, the right to consent in marriage, giving them the freedom to choose their life partner. So these are the rights we have discussed in our lesson thoroughly. Next question is, what role did Quran play in guiding the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's social reforms? Provide two examples. The Quran served as the fundamental source of student guidance for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's social reform. It emphasized justice, equality, and compassion, inspiring reforms that transformed society. In your lesson, you have thoroughly read that Quran, the verses of the Quran, that many a times Quran has instructed, Quran has explained, Quran has forbidden, and Quran has warned about the rights of these three categories that are mentioned. So the two examples we are going to get from the lesson is, Quran commanded fair and respectful treatment of women and orphan. It strongly encouraged the emancipation of slaves and the protection of their dignity. Now we have the question, how did Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam promote the emancipation of slaves? Many a times you have read in your Islamic studies as well, and you have heard also from your parents or nearby, and you have also read in your lesson that the treatment Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or the emancipation, like rihai, gulamon ki rihai, what are they rewarded? That the one who freed a slave is rewarded, and the one who treated the slave as brother is also rewarded. So these are the rewards that you are going to have. These are the good deeds that you are going to have rewards for them. So freeing the slave is considered and acknowledged as a rewardful act. Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam actively promoted the emancipation of slaves by encouraging Muslims to free them as virtuous and rewarding act. He also emphasized equality among all human beings regardless of their social status. And you can also quote from the lesson, that the quotes from Quran Pak, that you are supposed to consider your slaves as your brothers. The one who treated slave, or one who treats the slaves with kindness, is going to be rewarded. So these are the things that you can quote the example of Hazrat Bilal as well. So it will get a bit lengthy, you have to stick to the point. So these are your short questions, but still you can quote one example also. What steps did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam take to ensure the human treatment of slaves? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam instructed people to treat slaves with kindness, fairness, and respect. He advised that they should be provided with proper food and clothing and should not be burdened beyond their capacity. He taught that slaves should be treated as fellow human beings and members of the same community. He has given them examples. In your lesson, you have time and again being taught and you have time and again been told that Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam not only with instructions but with the practicality, but with the actions, he just gave the example to build a noble and virtuous and just society. He not only said those things, but he showed them practically, like the example of Hazrat Bilal. He was Habshi. Later on, he became Sahabi, the Muezzin. Next we have, what values in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's reforms are still relevant to modern societies addressing social justice issues? In your last passage of the lesson, you have read that the values reflected in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's reforms that remain highly relevant today include justice, equality, compassion, and respect for human dignity. His teachings on protecting the rights of women, supporting the vulnerable, and promoting fairness continue to serve as guiding principle for modern societies striving for social justice. Okay, that was our question, critical thinking. And now we have figurative languages. These are also important from your MCQ's point of view, as you are given some sort of example and you are asked, what is this? Identify the figure of speech. Like you are given a simile and you are given the options like metaphor, simile, what is it? Likewise with the other ones. So we have 8 figure of speech here: simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, alliteration, idioms, and oxymoron. There are many more, but we are given 8 here, so we will discuss them with examples as well. So you are very much familiar with few of the basics like simile and metaphor and personification, and idioms also, alliteration and assonance you have already done in your 9th class as well. So we have simile here. You can say a comparison between two unlike things using the term like and as. And so simile is very much easy to identify, as it is given the word as a hint, like or as. For example, he is as brave as a lion, he is as sparkling as a star. So these are the comparisons words we used in simile. It is called tashbih, mushabat, compare karna. Metaphor, it is called istara, a direct comparison between two unlike things without using like or as. So it is also comparison, but it doesn't use the word as or like. It is a direct comparison. You are not comparing someone like तुम इसकी तरह हो या तुम इसके जैसे हो. हम डायरेक्टली कह देते हैं तुम शेर हो. हम ये नहीं कहते कि तुम शेर की तरह बहादुर हो या तुम चांद की तरह रोशन हो. तुम चांद हो. सो इट इज़ अ मेटाफर, डायरेक्ट कंपैरिजन. टाइम इज़ अ थीफ. वी आर नॉट सेइंग टाइम इज़ लाइक अ थीफ. वक्त चोर की तरह है. वक्त चोर है, हमने डायरेक्ट उसको चोर कह दिया. Time is a thief that steals our moments. Next we have personification. Personifications means when you attribute the qualities of non-living things to a living thing, or to living or a non-living, giving human characteristics to non-human things, कि इंसानी जो खसूसियात हैं या क्वालिटीज़ हैं वो आप गैर जानदार चीज़ों को दे दें. द विंड विस्पर्ड थ्रू द ट्रीज़. विंड तो सरगोशी नहीं कर सकती ना, बट वी आर एट्रीब्यूटिंग इट, वी आर गिविंग द traits of humans to non-living things, non-human things. The wind whispered through the trees. Hyperbole, exaggeration used for emphasis or effect. I have told you a million times. मैंने तुम्हें लाखों बार बताया है. Hyperbole is एक्सट्रीमली एग्जैजुरेटेड, ड्रामेटिकली एग्जैजुरेटेड थिंग. बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ा चढ़ा के जब आप बात करते हैं, आपका मकसद होता है कि आप अपनी बात में वज़न पैदा करना चाह रहे हैं, असर दिखाना चाह रहे हैं बात का. टू शो द इफ़ेक्ट, टू शो द इंटेंसिटी, यू यूज़ हाइपरबोल. ओनोमेटोपोइया, a word that imitates a sound, a word that imitates a sound, like shh, sparkling sounds. Then we have the splashing sound of water. Then we have the whirling of wind. Then we have the buzzing of bees, the piece of meat, sizzle on the pan, like the sound sizzles of the pan. Alliteration, the repetition of the same consonant beginning sound in series of words. These are basically used in poems. So next you are going to have a poem. It is very much understandable for us that we are going to have conclude it in our lesson. Alliteration, the repetition of the same consonant being beginning sound in series of words, like Peter Piper picked up pack of picked peppers. So P letter, the consonant, repetitive consonant is the, what is it? Alliteration. So the same here, it is not mentioned, but I'm going to tell you the assonance, the repetition of vowel sound. Okay, the vowel letter, the repetition is called assonance. Then we have idioms, a phrase with a meaning different from its literal words. मुहावरे, उर्दू में भी आपने पढ़े हुए हैं मुहावरात. You have been learning since your 6th class in Urdu as well, muhavrat. So you are very much aware of that muhavrat or idioms. They are not, they don't have, the literal meaning. Whatever it is prominent or whatever it shows at the surface, like it's raining cats and dogs. Cats and dogs doesn't literally mean the animal here. We are not referring the animal. Basically it means बहुत देर, heavily, बहुत तेज़ बारिश हो रही है, उसके लिए यूज़ होता है. A phrase with meaning different to its literal words. Oxymoron, two contradictory terms together, two different or opposite ideas together, like deafening silence. Silence cannot deafen a person or thing, and deafening silence filled the room. How can silence fill the room? So these are the contradictory or opposite ideas together is called oxymoron. So these are our lecture for today, and with that I'm going to attach a quiz of the vocabulary at the last of this chapter. We are going to have another lecture for this chapter that is related to our grammar work. After that we are going to provide you the notes for this chapter in the PDF form as well. That's for the today.